Hello, family. How are you this afternoon? Welcome to our series, Enemies of Your Success. And this is part 2 today. This is George, and I'll be with you today, and we'll finish off the series tomorrow as part 3. So, yesterday we touched on the first one of these enemies, as I like to call them, and which is worry. Okay, we said that worry holds you captive. So today we're talking about the second enemy, and I'm calling this one fear. Fear. See, it's been said that faith and fear both demand that you believe in something you cannot see. So it's your choice which one you believe, right? And fear is one of those deadly instruments that have marred human lives throughout time. It is an unpleasant emotion caused by a threat of danger, of pain, or harm. And usually it's an illusion, isn't it? A mental illusion. It is to the sane adult what the ghost is to the child. We harbor it, we hold it dear, but it's in our head, right? What we fear is invariably something that hasn't happened. It is not reality. But to the person who is fearful, that fear becomes reality. And we all know what happens when the imagination gets on a roll. It tends to exaggerate everything completely. It may have started off as a little fear, but if we crown it, if we allow it to stay in our lives, it can ruin us and hold us back. So many people who fall victim to this enemy of success never really rise to their fullest levels of potential. They have potential, but they never really rise because this enemy is always in the background, threatening to derail everything that they achieve. It may be a fear of failure. It may be a fear of making mistakes. Maybe a fear of criticism. A fear of sickness, of fear, whatever it is. It can take on such major proportions as to hold individuals captive. They can't progress. They are fearful of this. They are fearful of that. As children, parents or guardians used fear as a tool to control us. Remember? So fear shadows were all constantly thrown at us. As children, some people's lives actually have become standard. They were infected with the germ of fear at a young age, constantly being reminded of the terrible results that would befall them if they did this, if they did that. So guardians, parents, instead of talking to kids and explaining why this can be done, it was easier just to throw the fear card and frighten these people. But it has such a horrific repercussions on kids because they grow up with fear as second nature. And so don't use it as a tool because you literally are damaging kids. So many grown-ups are afraid of making mistakes, are afraid of disappointments, are afraid of imagined enemies, afraid of public opinion. Ooh, what will everybody think of me? Oh, afraid of accidents, afraid of sickness, and the list goes on and on. You know, as kids, we used to play out at night. You know, you'd like go out and you play it, and obviously the grown-ups would get tired of saying, listen, get back inside. So what was devised was scare stories like, ooh, there's ghosts there, ooh, there's somebody's gonna pick you up. And before you know it, there's a fear of going out at night, these kids. Now, obviously, when you grow up, you get over it. But some people don't. It actually becomes second nature. So many grown-ups are afraid of making mistakes. That's a big one. Really, that's a big one. And I'll own up and say it was really one of my biggest fears of making mistakes. Until I went through some coaching, and clearly you don't have to be afraid of making mistakes. In fact, actually, you learn from them. Because you see, even the profession that I had chosen as a lawyer, you couldn't be seen as making mistakes, but that held you back because you wouldn't venture enough to make enough mistakes. Mistakes are okay. Yeah, live with them. Learn from them. What isn't okay is making mistakes and not learning from them. Now there's a problem. When you make mistakes, as long as you're genuine and honest in your approach to what you're doing, hey, let it go and move on. So there's fear. Most people will not then become what they should be because they're holding themselves back. They're afraid of being criticized. They're afraid of making mistakes. They're afraid of failure. But these things happen. Learn from them. Because your success is not going to be from the first thing that you do. It might take 4 or 5 attempts, 6 attempts. And your success will come. For as long as you're focused, for as long as you're determined to do what it is that you're determined to do, you will be okay. You are going to make mistakes. So live with them, accept them. But don't let fear come in the way of your God-given path, the path that will lead you to success. Okay? So a story is told of a soldier in the heat of battle. He gets shot and he gets grazed by a bullet, but because of the heat of everything that's going around, he thinks the bullet has lodged inside of him. So he's rushed off to a doctor, and as the doctor is examining to see the extent of the damage, he notices that the bullet has actually flattened out. It hit some metal object on him, flattened out, and actually didn't cause him. Yes, it grazed him. But the guy was so fearful. He was near death. I mean, his face changed, his eyes were rolling. He was just about to go. And then the doctor pulled out the bullet and says, here, listen, here it is. There's no harm done. And let me tell you, instantly, color came back to his face. He's able to smile, and he was back on his feet. And so fear had driven him to believe that he was actually a goner. He's dead. But that's what happens with us in life. When we are fearful of something, we say, no, I'm finished, I'm done. But you're not, because what's inside of you is so much power that you can withstand anything to achieve the goals that you set yourself. As long as you have faith, as long as you have the desire, as long as you've got the focus, you will achieve what it is that you set out to do. So courage, not fear, is what you should strive for. Courage and not fear is what you should strive for. Fill your mind with courage and hope. Stop fearing things that will never happen. And in fact, do not wait until thoughts become entrenched in your mind and in your imagination. A little fear comes in stealthily, slowly. It comes in as a small little thing. And with time, if you don't get rid of it quickly and decisively, it grows inside of you like a cancer, And before you know it, this thing is bigger than it was when you had the opportunity to deal with it. So deal with it decisively. The moment it comes, deal with it. So don't wait and don't dwell upon fear, because that's what it likes. The more you sit there on your own, you ruminate and you think about, it grows bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And you must drive it out by putting in your head positive thoughts, right? Thoughts that are opposite to this. I've always said that fear reminds me of a long, cold winter. It grips you, you can't move, it grips you, and nothing happens then. And the way to deal with it is then to think of spring and summer. What is spring? Flowers, right? Birds chirping, sunshine. That's opposite to a cold winter. So put those spring thoughts in your head. It's not easy, but you have to. It's a choice, like I said at the start. You have to keep telling yourself, yes, this is me. Yes, this is me. Yes, this is me. And you feed yourself with positives. Affirmations. In the morning, in the afternoon, at night, as you drive. Affirmation. You will drive it away. You see, fear, like worry and all its other cousins, they cannot live an instant in the mind with whose thoughts are images of courage, images of fearlessness, confidence, hope, self-assurance, self-reliance. Fear doesn't like to stay there. It slings away. Fear is a consciousness of a weakness. You fear, I'm weak here, and this thing is going to overtake me. No, my friend. Flooded with positive thoughts, flooded with thoughts that are opposite, and it will go away. It won't go away on its own accord, of course. You got to act. You got to make a choice. Like I said at the start, faith and fear are belief in something that you don't see. But you have a choice. Choose faith. Choose hope. Choose something that gets you to be the best person that you are capable of. So I'll challenge you now that as you have fear thoughts, try this exercise, right? As the fear thoughts come through, think of something positive. And if you have, write it down. Write it down. Today, in the morning, these are the fear thoughts, because they normally come in the morning when you wake up. What am I going to do today? What about my job? Kick it with positive thoughts. Write them down. Do it often. Eventually, you get into the habit of thinking positive. You get to work yourself into that state. It doesn't happen automatically. You got to develop it. Develop it with time. Slowly. With time, you become so positive that fear doesn't want to get anywhere near you. It won't want to get anywhere near you. I like the subject of fear, and so I like sharing it with you. Listen, guys, thank you so much for the support. Hey, really, we're growing in numbers, and so I've been told that I would need to move to our live sessions to the business side. So you kind of receive invites to like Vula Unlock Consulting, because I'm told we're going to reach a limit, and we won't be able to do Facebook Live on my personal account. So we're going to move to Vula Consulting in May, of course. And we'll continue. We'll have the same material, but different sides, right? So if you like this video, share it with friends and click like and send us your comments. You can visit our website and send comments there as well. All right. Love you guys. And we will talk tomorrow when we complete this series. And as I said to you, our series this time is called Enemies of Your Success. And it's part 1. So I want you to keep your mental house clean. Keep your mental house clean. Kick out worry. Kick out fear. And we talk about one more tomorrow that you need to kick out. And hey, you'll be good in 2020. Take good care of yourselves. And as I always like to say, stay positive. Right? Be good now. Bye-bye.